Hello YouTube. So at the end of every year I like to do a little recap of the year of what happened each month in my year in 12 video. So that is what today is going to be. It's a very busy, very crazy, very eventful year. I have my notes here on the side. I've been keeping notes throughout the entire year. Let's get into it. January just felt like a lot of getting back into life because I was coming back from doing White Christmas. I had been away from home for 2 months and I was like, I need to get my life back in order. I was also cat sitting for, I think it was a week, for a friend uptown. So I was like staying uptown half the time for like about a week of the month. And then I also was traveling to Utah for wedding stuff. So it was like a lot of things happening all at the same time. And I was like, my brain is not back to life in New York yet. Doing all of that right at the beginning of the year felt like a lot happening. February. For me, February felt like pre-pandemic times with like auditions, because audition life kind of felt pretty normal, of like things going back to normal, a lot more in person, really feeling like, okay, we're back in this. Like self-tapes are far and few between, still happening a bit, but much more in person. It was a good way just to kind of like throw myself back in, not knowing if I would get any offers, if I would book anything. Also with having the wedding and the family trip all happening in the summer, I was just kind of like, I'm just keeping the muscle going while I am able to. March. The big thing that happened in March was my bachelorette party weekend. I knew I wasn't gonna do anything like super crazy. I just wanted it to be like chill, fun weekend, because that's not my personality at all to like go insane. I just want it to be like me and my bridesmaids coming together to hang out. Also for everybody to like fully meet each other for the first time, because like obviously it's my sisters, Amber, Rachel, and Daniela, and they all kind of like knew of each other because we had a text chain going. Amber and Rachel had met a few times in college. Daniela had never met any of them. She met like Morgan and Alexis, but like it was also good for everybody just like to meet each other. Amber and Rachel both flew in from Utah and stayed here at the apartment with me and Sean, which was like a fun little sleepover for a couple days. Alexis made me do a workout class. We had a nice lunch. We went to the Spy Museum. We saw some shows. We had a really nice dinner. We did an escape room. It was all really fun, and it was just like exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to do anything insane, and this just like fit me completely. April was the month where I was like, I need to get a better paying job, like a better paying survival job. Working at Let's See Grandma was not working out for me anymore, and I was starting to really realize that it was not going to be ideal. Really hoping I could try to find a virtual job. That wasn't working out for quite a while, so then I was like, okay, let me look back at like customer service jobs. I didn't want to go back into the restaurant industry because I knew the hours were really crazy, and I was like, it's just gonna stress me out a lot. And I ended up getting like a ton of hits for front desk jobs at gyms, customer service type things, and I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense for my experience. And then started my job with Fabletics, which is great. I love it there. And also starting my catering job during the month of April into the beginning of May. Work a lot of different events, and it's been a very interesting experience. So yeah, April was the month where I like got it into gear with like a job, like that I can work a survival job to actually make some money. May was the big month of 2023 because that was the month of the wedding. It was just crazy to see everything come together from everything that we've been planning for like almost 2 years, and to have everybody come and be there and celebrate us and our relationship and the wedding and all that kind of stuff. It was just like a really nice time and really exciting, and I loved it. I'm just so happy with how it turned out, and like I still love looking at all the photos and the videos and everything, and I'm just like, I can't believe it actually happens still sometimes. Like we've been married for what now, it's 7 months, which is crazy, but it feels like we've been married forever just because we've been together for so long. But like, yeah, the wedding happened and I'm thrilled, and now we're a married couple. Woo! June. The big thing of June was quitting my job at Let's See Grandma. I had a final client who had, their time was scheduled the week after the wedding. Had the call with them. The call was not what it was supposed to be. And dealing with this client became very difficult because they were becoming very nitpicky and saying I wasn't doing things, and then giving me lots of edits to do. So much so that like it was impossible to read the document. And I was also working on this while I was sitting at auditions, in between work, in between everything. I was barely working on this client's stuff on my computer, which is on my laptop, which is what I usually do. I was doing most of the work from my iPad, which is fine for working on it, but like there'd be many times where he would send me a document and I couldn't access it on my iPad, and I was trying to get it to him quickly, and it was just hard to deal with. I was also editing it on my phone half the time, which is like impossible to do with like tracked changes on Word and trying to pay attention to what's going on. This guy got like really frustrated about the situation, even though I was helping him so much for weeks and weeks and weeks that he complained to customer service about me, even though I was doing my job, and said that he wanted to stop the package before he got back to me and said, oh yeah, I'll get back to you with some more edits, but like had already complained about me to customer service and like completely badmouthed me to customer service in like 1 or 2, maybe 3 emails, even though I was doing so much work for him. And it just hit a point where I was like, you know what, I am done. I cannot deal with this anymore, and quit the job. Very glad I did, because it was not worth the stress and the effort that I was putting in for the amount of money that I was making on it, which was not ideal. Now I feel less stressed about work. That definitely was a big stressor. July was my family's trip to France. My parents had been planning this trip for like 3 years. They had planned it for the summer of 2020. Obviously didn't happen because of the pandemic. And then as the years were going, they were like, we're keeping all the reservations. We're figuring out everything. We're trying to keep everything so we can keep the trip as close to what we had as possible from 2020. And then when it came to 2023, things were looking like they were opening up and like it was going to be safe for us to travel because of everything post-pandemic. My mom was like, what are you guys doing after the wedding? Are you guys going on a honeymoon? And we were like, no, we're not planning on going right away. She said, great, don't do that because we're going on the family France trip. And I was like, okay, cool. It was like a 2-week trip with my family all around France. We went to Paris for a day, and then we're in like the south of France the rest of the time. It was fun to explore everything, to see all the places. There was a lot of food markets, a lot of lavender. But yeah, it was a good time. I'd never been to France before, so yeah. August was the month where I was working at day camp over the summer, which had some interesting bits to it. I did love the kids that I was working with. I was with specifically a class of 3-year-olds for most of the time. I was only there for like a month. I was working with a class of 3-year-olds who were so sweet, so adorable. One of them like attached himself to me, and like every time I wasn't there, because I was a floater position, and when I had to like go to different classes, he would be like a little bit upset, and then I would see him throughout the day, and he was just like always so happy to see me. It just like made the experience of that really good. But on the flip side of that, there was a slight issue with payment stuff from the job. Just didn't get paid on time, and it took a long time to get paid. But the other part of it was getting really sick. I knew I was going to get sick from working with these kids because it's like a new set of germs, all that kind of stuff. I knew that was gonna happen. I thought it would be like a brief little cold. It turned into something that I am still dealing with, which I will get into later on. But so much so that I was like coughing my lungs out. I lost my voice for about a week and a half. I had to miss a bunch of days at Fabletics as well because I was so sick. It was just not an ideal situation from that. I did enjoy working with the kids, but the other stuff that happened afterwards was not good. September. Did new headshots in September, which is me doing it myself. It's something I'm very proud of myself for doing. Last year at a certain point, I think it was around my birthday, I was like, I need new headshots because the photos I'm using from pre-pandemic don't look like me. So I just took some photos at home. Sean helped me with them. They were fine. They served their purpose. As I was thinking about it more, I was like, I need to like make these headshots look good. My hair had also grown a lot since then, so I was like, I need them to look like myself. I'm having my hair long now. I like how it looks. I need to get good headshots, but I don't want to pay a lot of money for it because I don't have a lot of money. But I was like, I have nice cameras. I can figure it out myself. And I did. I was able to connect my camera to my phone to have that as like the point and shoot. I had my nice backdrop, which was our blanket that I use for filming self-tapes, set up in the back. I got really good photos out of it. I got like lots and different options for it with like different outfits and different looks. And then I taught myself how to edit the backdrop of the photo so it had different colors. So it looked like it was taken in a studio in different, like with different backgrounds behind it. And I'm really proud of myself for learning how to do this because I was like, I want to have headshots that I'm proud of. Not that I wasn't proud of my other ones, but like for myself, I'm very proud of how these headshots turned out. And the last thing of September was getting COVID for a second time, which I don't know how it happened. I like don't go out to bars and busy places. Like the busiest place that I go is audition rooms. So I'm like, somebody in one of these buildings must have had COVID and I must have gotten it from them. I was being very safe about my health at work because it was just coming off of being sick from the kids that I was like, I need to pay attention to my health. It wasn't like terrible, like I felt pretty much fine. I just felt like very tired when I had COVID this time around. October, well, September is the start of it, but October is where it really hit. Was the major bit of, not even the major bit, the major start, big part of our roach infestation in our apartment, which is still happening. I've talked about it before. I made a whole video about it. October was that, and it's still going on. Yeah. November. So in November, I got sick again because apparently the end of 2023 is a lot of that happening for me. But this time around when I got sick and I lost my voice again, I was like, I need to go see a different doctor about this. In August, I thought about going to an ENT, but I was like, no, maybe it's just a cold from the kids. That's what it seems to be. But when I lost my voice, I got a little bit worried. But this time in November, when I lost my voice after getting sick, I was like, I need to go see somebody specifically about this because this is now a problem that is affecting how I can audition and how I can go to work. Because when it happened in August, there were auditions I was going to where I had to sing and I couldn't. And then in November, the same thing was happening where I was like, I'm at auditions and I can't sing and I can't do my job. So I went to an ENT and finally got a diagnosis for what it looks like it is. It is muscle tension dysphonia, rhinitis in my nose, and then possibly acid reflux, most likely acid reflux also along with it. So it's kind of a combination of a couple things. So now that I know what it is and moving forward into treating it, I'm happier with that. My voice has been good and solid since it's coming back. I did sing in an audition a couple weeks ago and had a voice lesson last week where I was like figuring out where my voice is at, and it feels okay. It's just like still in a weird spot vocally, like singing wise, but figuring out everything to help fix it is really good. December. Last thing of December that I really loved about this month was getting to work with my friend Ellie's Ghostbusters inspired piece. It was so much fun. I was so happy she asked me to be a part of it. So it was so much fun to do. I got to do it with some of the other girls from my Christmas as well, Emily and Maggie and somebody else too. And just like doing choreography and like rehearsing for something to like put it together. We like filmed it so we could send it off to like different festivals and hopefully it'll get picked and we'll get to actually perform it somewhere. But like having rehearsals and working towards something was like really nice for a couple weeks. Just have something to like continually be doing while also auditioning, also working, all that kind of stuff, and like being creative and being fun. I love it. So that is my 2023. Definitely not how I thought the year would look at all. There's definitely a lot of things that I knew was going to be happening, like the wedding, the family trip, the auditions, work stuff, and I am very curious to see what 2024 is going to look like. If you want to share it with me in the comments down below, tell me what made 2023 a good year for you. If you want to go by month, go for it. If you just want to tell me one big thing, go for it. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. DFTBA, and I will see you all next time. Bye.